background. I am slowly getting anything moved around and getting stuff moved into the apartment. And you can see my wonderful book collection. I have no telling what books are behind me. A lot of good classics. But anyways, time to get the show on the road rather quickly. I've been wanting to do this one for a while, but I've been really caught up and busy. And finally, I just sat down and I was like, I've got to do this. So this is me doing that. Today we're going to talk about what it is like and meanings behind being a single Christian in today's world. This will be fun. I'm going to grab my book. Wrote like 4 pages in this on this because it's something that really hits close to home with everybody. And quite honestly, it was 2 in the morning. God was really leading me. And next thing I know, I have a novel. But I'm going to try and like shorten it, but still get it all out there, okay? So, okay. So, what does it mean to be a Christian and single in today's world? Now, if you're like me, you have all these family members and friends. They're all getting engaged, they're getting married, they're having kids. It's overwhelming. And also, come on, Valentine's Day is coming up. That's never a fun holiday. I call it Forever Alone Day, where I sit and eat a whole tub of ice cream and watch Hallmark. Not really, I watch horror movies. But anyways, back on topic here. On the farm, it's almost it's a little harder almost because, you know, we got the wedding barn and everything. So we're constantly having weddings out here. So then you got all these couples. They're so happy. Now, I'm so happy for them. I love having the weddings out here. I get to see all the brides. They're all gorgeous. The grooms are scared out of their mind. I expect to get a note from one that says, help me. But I haven't yet. So y'all, ladies, y'all are doing really good right now. Keeping them quiet. But anyways, at the end of the day, do you ever ask yourself things like, you know, what is God doing with my life? Why have I been left out while everyone else is so happy and in relationships? Has God forgotten about me? And why can't I get what I want or, you know, think I deserve? If you've asked any of these questions, then, you know, I'm right there with you because I've asked them too. And people have probably told you, you know, oh, the right one is out there and, you know, God has the perfect person picked out for you. It's just not the right time. That is probably true. I mean, it's very true. I have people tell me that all the time. But quite honestly, I feel like my person must be riding a tortoise on his way over here and they're stuck at a red light and the tortoise went to sleep. But I'm also impatient. Sometimes. Every now and then. But, you know, you're left with all these questions and no answers. And like I said, I took a lot of time and did a whole lot of research on this because I really wanted to get in depth with y'all on it and talk about it. And let's do it. First off, the thing you need to know before anything else, God has not forgotten about you. Okay? You are not forgotten. In Psalms 27, verse 9 through 10, it says, do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in anger. You have been my helper. Do not reject me. Do not reject me or forsake me, O God, my Savior. Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. This alone means no matter who on earth turns their back on you, God will always be there for you. No matter what it is or what is going on, as long as you give yourself over to Him, or even better than that one is Jeremiah 1 verse 5, where God says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." Before we were even formed, before our parents even thought about us, before our parents even thought about each other, God already knew us. He knew everything about us. He knew every detail of our life. Is that not incredible? That He had everything planned out for us before anyone even had us planned. I think that's really awesome. Next, you need to know is that you're right where you should be in life. It might not seem like it to you right now, and you might have a lot of questions, but everything in your life happens for a reason. God is using this, just like every other part of your life. He is using this, and in time we'll look back and not only learn from it, but also teach others with our actions and how we handled ourselves through this time. We'll be able to one day look back and tell our future spouse, the struggles and waiting, and tell our kids, it's okay. It's okay to wait. It's okay to question, wondering if you're ever going to find someone. It's okay to have questions because God answers them. You have to listen. We're not real good at that sometimes. We're not really good at listening because we always want to do everything at our own pace, our own time, and that's not how this goes. I'm sorry. Trust me. I wish it was. But as long as you know you're following God like you should and following His word, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about if you're doing right by His will. He has a plan for your life. Even if you can't see it right now. One thing you need, this is going to be a hard one. One thing you need to know, and it might be a hard pill to swallow, it's that we're not promised to end up with a marriage. For me, it's hard to swallow. I mean, it is, because I ache at it just as much as the next person, but something you have to face. God promises to give us everything we need in life, but not everything we want, which is a big difference from need. Just like how we want a new shiny car. Just like how we want a gorgeous, gorgeous car, or we want a brand new pair of jeans that are like $150 and all that stuff. We want all this, but we don't need it. We need a car that is reliable and gets us to work and everywhere else we need to go. We have clothes on our body. We have food in our stomach. We don't need everything. Our wants go off of earthly things to be like everyone else, when maybe God has set us apart for a reason we haven't seen yet. Maybe there is such a bigger plan than what we have in our head right now. We have our whole life planned out, right? Ever since we were younger. We had our whole future, everything planned out. But God also has our future planned out. And it might be completely different than what we did. You know, like in kindergarten, we all wanted to be astronauts and princesses and rock stars. I think I wanted to be a vet. Yeah, I wanted to be a vet. And now I do horse rescue, which is kind of, you know, same thing, but I never seen myself doing this. I never had any intentions of doing horse rescue or anything like that. And I got led to it, and I got called to it. This is what I need to do in my life. This is how I serve, is by giving back to the animals that are on this earth. And I love it so much, but it wasn't my original plan. So, no, yes, you have a plan. Go off that plan, but also go off of God's plan. If God is telling you something different, then follow Him. So don't be worried if you think that you might never get married, because it's okay. You know, there might be something so much bigger for you out there. You don't need to sit and wonder, am I going to be alone forever? Because when you're not going to be alone forever. You're not. God is there with you all the time. You just need to focus on yourself. You need to focus on following Him and following His will and His way. And then from that, who knows, you might find Mr. Right. You might find Prince Charming on a white horse. Like I said, I'm pretty sure mine's riding a tortoise right now. Let's see. Yeah, no, they're probably still at a red light. I'm not sure. They're probably both asleep by now. But the Bible does also say in Genesis 2, verse 24, for this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and they will be of one flesh. It is intended for us to find that person out there, but sometimes, like I said, God's plan is much bigger than what we think is intended for us. Finally, in this time of being single, you need to learn to love yourself. This is something, I actually talked with a friend of mine about this a few days ago. We were, just in deep conversation, because I'm never one to have light conversations. I like going into depth. I want to know what's inside your head, and not just the little things. I want to know the big things too. So we were talking about being single and the struggles and everything like that. And I finally said, you need to love yourself, because you can tell yourself that you're only unhappy because you're single and alone. I'm unhappy because I'm single. Everyone else is out there in relationships right now, and I'm here alone. I've got like 5 cats, and yeah, that's why I'm sad. But it's not. It's upsetting to be alone. But is it really true? Is that really why you're sad? Because I don't think it is. You have to make that room in your heart for a person. You can't love someone else without first loving yourself. That's what we were talking about. You have to love yourself first. It would not be fair to the other person that you bring into your life to still be struggling with your own demons, and then bring them in, and you still don't really know how to love yourself. So now you're trying to figure out how to love yourself and how to love this completely other human. You need to focus on you. You need to make sure you're happy, your needs are filled, you are providing for yourself before you go and you try to find love. Because nothing would be worse than having a person in your life that you can't even love right, because you never learned to love you as a person first. That would be so upsetting, not only for you, but for the other person. Because maybe they think they're ready and you're not. You need to make sure you are happy. And then worry about throwing another soul in there afterwards. Be content with yourself as a person and a follower of God. Make yourself happy. Do what makes you happy. I love reading. I love reading. I love working with horses. I love cooking. Lord, I love cooking. I have all this stuff that I love doing, and it makes it hard because a lot of the stuff I do, it takes time away, from being out and mingling. But I'm making myself happy, and I'm making myself content. Just because you're single, it doesn't mean you have to be miserable. God doesn't want you miserable. You don't need to be miserable, okay? You need to love yourself. You need to trust God's plan. You need to know that everything will work out how it's supposed to. Maybe it's not how you're intending for it to work out. Maybe you intend on this whole other picture, but God has something so much bigger in store for you that you have no idea. You have no clue. So focus on yourself. Love yourself. Love God. And just be happy. Okay? I love you all so much. Until next time, my friends.